All right, we're here and another episode of Whatever Happened to the Game. Welcome, audience. This should be pretty fun. It's an old game that was somewhat missed. It had the misfortune of coming out 1 month before Donkey Kong 64, a far more popular game. Joining me from Illinois is Albeleo.
Hello.
So we're going to get started with a space adventure game. It was one of the later games by Rare for Nintendo 64. So we're going to get started. And this is a little hint of what's coming up on the podcast. We previously had Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 overview and take a look at what we thought would happen versus what happened. And next one is going to be a movie-based episode talking about the MCU, what happened recently, and what could happen coming up with the upcoming movies. So should be interesting. Audience demand really wanted me to talk about some movies, so I figured, hey, MCU is pretty well known. Something my audience would probably enjoy hearing the opinions about who and I have about it.
So. Yeah, I've got a lot of frustrations about this, Avengers Doomsday concept art and everyone losing their minds on it when it hasn't come out yet.
Well, you have that theory, and I think it'll be interesting when we talk about it. All right. So the other thing is that Jet Force Gemini is available on the online Switch store. So if you don't have a Nintendo 64, which if you do, I'm impressed that you kept it running so long. We could get it on the Nintendo Switch store, download it to your Nintendo Switch, and play it using the Nintendo Switch's dual joystick system. It's a little different from the Nintendo 64 because you have one joystick on your right is for aiming, the other one is for movement. So I like the dual joystick system for Jet Force Gemini. And I'm going to admit, I'm only playing the single player mode for Jet Force Gemini now with the Switch. I didn't play it except for multiplayer back when it was released.
It's a shame because I did see that this popped up on the Switch store, but when I went to go and update the games list, DK64 isn't on the Switch.
It isn't?
No, it's not.
DK64 outsold this game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's an issue with Rare because what was it? There's Conker's Bad Fur Day. I mean, realistically, Conker's probably won't go on the Switch, but there's a lot of other games that Rare developed that just are not here. So,
I know.
I don't know. We'll see.
I want to see GameCube games on the Switch store. I think it could eventually happen if they keep that store. I mean, now the 1 to 5 gigabytes of a GameCube game are nothing when it comes to downloading or playing online.
Yeah. Compared to the, hundreds of gigabytes that some games are still.
Yeah, that's the norm now. But, back when it was the 2000s, it was normally under 10 gigs for one game on a console. So, Rare Game became a new product for this team behind Blast Corps. So, Blast Corps was an earlier game where you're trying to get nuclear bombs to safety with a team of specialists, and you don't want to mess up because basically, if you die, the nuke blows up that you're carrying. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unrealistic considering there's a detonation mechanism. When they dispose of nuclear weapons, they take the detonator off of it so it won't explode in a big mushroom cloud. There is a risk of maybe leaking the radioactive material if you broke the nuclear weapon, but the detonators are taken off the warhead, so they will not detonate by accident when they dispose of them. But Blast Corps was pretty fun. It's similar to like Frogger, where you're trying to get around obstacles and don't crash the truck with the nuke in it.
This just sounds an awful lot like the nitroglycerin from Castlevania 64.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a game. They basically made it into a game like Frogger, where you go through many levels of trying to avoid crashing with a nuke in the truck.
Yeah.
So they started development in 1997 after they had mostly finished up DD Kong Racing. They got Paul Mountain, who had been the lead director. He was part of the team for this new game. They didn't come up with the actual title Jet Force Gemini until around halfway through development.
Okay.
It was like Star Battle, which sounds derivative of Star Wars or Star Trek, but okay.
It's hard to get the star in anything that has to do with space.
Right. But they did use star in the sense that they named characters and objects after constellations, such as Juno, Vela, Lupus. Those are all constellations.
That's good.
So they took the ants from Diddy Kong Racing assets and reused them for Jet Force Gemini. So you basically have in the single player campaign, you have an army of ants with guns.
Okay.
Which I think is funny.
I can't wait for modern day philosophers to be like, oh, the bugs did nothing wrong.
Yeah, Chaos. It was ants with guns, which is funny because that was in the actual Starship Troopers novel, which will be a future topic, because they've announced that Blomkamp, who made District 9, is making the new Starship Troopers reboot film. We'll talk about what happened with Starship Troopers when they tried to adapt it multiple times. But yeah, ants with guns. So the goal of Jet Force Gemini became having a third-person action game, which came close to the control and accuracy of the first-person shooter games. So there's obviously an aim. So you're normally in the third person, but you have to press a button to aim your character if you want to precisely hit something. There is some auto aim in it, similar to how you have it auto aim in GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, but if you really want to accurately aim at a distance, you have to get your character to look down the barrel of their gun and aim using the C button. Using the C button for the Nintendo 64. It's easier with the Switch. Yeah, it's easier for the Switch because you have one of your joysticks to aim with. So
that's good.
It fixes a lot. And yes. So these are the original designs. Shigeru Miyamoto and the people at Nintendo were just saying like, we don't like the idea of child soldiers in a video game. So obviously they changed the design back to what you see here in the lower right.
Yeah, so they're a little more adult.
Yes.
Yeah, which is so funny. It's like, we don't like child soldiers. It's like, you guys made Gundam. Like, I know not Nintendo.
Well, I mean, Legend of Zelda, but I don't think Link is technically a soldier in all those games. And he also switches between adult and soldier in Ocarina of Time, so I don't know.
Yeah, but he's pretty much a kid in Ocarina. He's basically a kid in the first one. I'd probably say he's near he's like a young teenager in Link to the Past. Yeah.
So it had a complex release schedule. First release was North America, probably due to the Rare. So October 11th, October 29th in Europe, and December 1st, 1999 in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it sold 1 million units, which is not great for a Rare game, but it was a financial success in sales.
That's good.
Yeah. Like I said, it had the misfortune of being 1 month before Donkey Kong 64. So
yeah, so that's probably, as we briefly touched on, that's probably what explains why I didn't really see or hear anything about this game at the time. Because
right.
I was all about DK64.
Yeah. Yeah. So You have Juno, Vela, and Lupus. You don't see Lupus, but Lupus is the dog. Vela is the girl. Juno is the man right there. But we're
Okay.
going to take a look at gameplay from the game. So I'm going to get it up. So thank you, World of Long Plays. You've done us a great service by giving us a little visual reference here.
I would assume it sort of looks and plays similar to the Banjo and DK64, right?
Yeah, it's by Rare, so a lot of it's pretty similar in terms of how the graphics are.
Mm-hmm.
So share screen.
In widescreen.
Yeah, so the wide you have to play this in the old on the Switch store. The Switch version still plays in this, the old aspect ratio.
Uh-huh.
So because they have issues with the widescreen version, they're working on it, as they say.
Like how the eyes are upside down.
Yeah. Your name, your player name, your save game name. So it's a little interesting because you have to name your save game, but that becomes what you save for that campaign progression.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little odd, but rather than a single save game, but I think it helps to keep track.
I like the distinguishment. I always enjoyed that with games. That is a horribly vulnerable bridge
Ship?
for the ship.
Yeah.
Is that a freaking dog with a freaking laser beam?
Yeah, it is. That's Lupus. So yeah. Obviously, what game or movie would not be complete with your ship comes under attack and you crash. And yes, these are the characters you have to rescue in the game.
Oh, they're just getting splattered.
Yeah.
I was like, I recognize those splatter effects. That's just conkers.
Yeah. Also made by Rare.
Yes, deploy on the treadmills.
Yeah. It's the old respawning that you see in Nintendo 64 respawn platforms.
They're so lucky these are aliens, so they can just splatter them whenever they shoot them.
I mean, they're ants. Nobody likes ants. So here's Juno. You start with him. You can choose to play as other characters later. He just teleports.
I'm sure he got enough running done on the tactical treadmill there.
Yeah. So this is essentially your tutorial or first world, but later on you choose which planets you're going to go and find all the little teddy bears, similar to similar to how you find all the bananas in Donkey Kong 64 in each little area. But here it is. You start with a pistol. If you run out of bullets, your pistol shoots a weak laser that does less damage.
Oh, well, that's a lot better than just being useless, I guess.
Yeah, because they don't really have a melee system in this game. So you kind of just have to have like this backup infinite ammo part to your gun. Because they haven't quite programmed melee combat into it. I mean, that's the shortcoming, but
yeah, thank God we had a Gizmo to tell us where to go.
Yeah. Impossibly big on the inside buildings too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mizar is the king of all these ants. It's going to get really funny when you hear the tutorial voice talking to you.
Is there supposed to be audio?
Yeah. So these are the ants that's these are the different kites. Like the blue ones are basic grunts.
Mm-hmm.
Another color for snipers, and then there's obviously that you see a commander right there. Then you have all the weird, bizarre like bosses that are just giants.
Makes sense. Well, he's certainly trying to get his steps in.
Yeah. It's a shaman.
Oh. This is oddly gruesome for a 64 game.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, okay. This is like actually darker than Castlevania 64.
Yeah, it is. At least in Castlevania 64, it gets worse when you find out like who this character is, like who is Gilles de Race. He's a guy.
Sure.
He's a guy who had dead children in his basement. That's who he was. Well, no wonder Dracula would want him.
Don't get too hasty now. I know my people are being slaughtered across the back way, and you can hear the screams of the children. But I have to teach you a couple things first.
It's just a crash course. Don't worry.
Yeah, and little Timmy over there is getting crash course.
He shot him. He shot him in the ass.
Oh, and he gets angry about it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was aiming mode right there. You push a C button to go into aiming mode where you just point around. Peaceful planet. Of course it's peaceful. They didn't even know what to do when someone dropped on them.
Yeah, it's peaceful now because there's no one left. Also, here are the crystals from Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, they borrowed the crystals up from Diddy Kong Racing too. So the ants and the crystals are reused assets.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, there's this grating mechanical voice guiding you through the tutorial.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
he's
supposed to be
killing them.
bears?
Bear-like. I think they were inspired by Ewoks when they made them.
They look like the they look like that I forget their name. Crap. The big-headed goblin-looking things from Star Trek.
Oh, Ferengi. That's it.
Ferengis, thank you. I knew it was an F. I just couldn't figure out which one it was.
Yeah, as you can see here, there's obviously auto aim, but when you finally get to the sniper, you have to manually aim to get him. And they use a little targeting reticule to help guide your aim.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll straight up just kill people. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, they will. And obviously, you start with a pistol, but you get plenty of other new weapons as the game progresses, and equipment too. He just grabbed the bear and he disappears. You can obviously see all the old arcade influences on this.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you have to kill all ants in the area to get the door open.
I do like how.
Oh, hi Adonis. This is Jet Force Gemini. It's a game that came out, unfortunately, 1 month before Donkey Kong 64 and wasn't too well advertised as a result. I'm not going to lie, Donkey Kong 64 was a great game, Adonis. It's just that priorities. Shoot the bot. Shoot the bot. Yeah, Shadow Master, think about the bugs.
The bugs they've never done anything wrong, don't you know?
I mean, I saw your review of Mickey 17. I was like wondering, like, how are you violating anybody when there's never been humans on this planet before?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you can grab somebody up and they'll be saved at the last second, but they still have a death animation.
Yeah.
I was wondering because I just watched one of these, Ferengi bears get annihilated.
Yeah.
But it didn't count towards like the actual death total.
No, you can grab them. You can grab them just like I don't know, mushrooms or coins, depending on your franchise. Oh, that's a mine right there. Yeah, you can get mines eventually, but you can blow them up using the gunshots if you accurately aim it.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's like that's what they did for what year did this come out in?
1999, 1 month before Donkey Kong 64.
Okay.
Late 99.
Because this is an element of Perfect Dark. Any of the explosive weapons or items
you can do it
shot while they're out on the ground.
You can do it in GoldenEye if you either accurately shoot it with the rifle or if you detonate a bomb next to the proximity mine.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how much just that element in general was followed through in a lot of shooter games.
I mean, to an extent, it was. Deus Ex from 2000 and the rest of that game series has it so you could disarm a mine if you get up to it and touch the button fast enough. But you can also detonate it with an explosion or a gunshot. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Of course, you can do it.
Yeah, basically, Adams.
yeah. So Adonis, it's basically if they made a novel, accurate Starship Troopers, only without the ape suits. Because in the original Starship Troopers novel, the aliens were like bugs, but they also had guns and spaceships. Because they changed it because, I mean, the whole idea with Starship Troopers and when Heinlein wrote it was 1959, 1960. So, Cold War era, and they were thinking of making something that's like the Soviets or Chinese back then. But obviously, when Paul Verhoeven took over, they had things like the Soviet Union breakup, so that it wasn't a Soviet Union anymore. So they thought, well, we don't really think in peer enemies anymore, so let's change Starship Troopers to be more like aliens.
Man, am I frustrated with the fact that they're remaking it. I'm worried.
I mean, Neil Blomkamp has said that they're going to disregard what was done with the interpretation by Paul Verhoeven. I do have my concerns, though. And not to mention all the live action 1987 movie had all those direct to video sequels you never knew about.
Yeah, I like to try to pretend I didn't watch 2.
Oh, I watched part of 3 out of curiosity because they actually made a music video about that whole movie. It's a good day to die. It's a good day to die when you know the reasons why. Citizens, we fight for what is right. A noble sacrifice. When duty calls, you pay the price. For the Federation, I would give my life. And yeah, that's the song.
When duty calls. Oh, duty calls. Okay.
Yeah, when duty calls.
When Diddy calls, you will pay the price. That's
Diddy Kong was secretly in there.
Oh, I was thinking the rapper.
Oh. So now you have the machine gun. It's very damaging at close range unless your enemy has armor on. So that's a shoot switch. You have to give a certain amount of damage into the switch to unlock it. But now you have the machine gun, and I was distracted thinking about Starship Troopers. But the machine gun is good. It's strong against people who don't have armor, but some of your enemies do have armor on.
Sure.
But it's difficult to aim, obviously, because it's firing full automatic. But if you're close to those 3 ants, you could have just done a quick burst with the machine gun and taken them all out. I'm presuming the player is conserving his machine gun ammo, though.
I would assume that's the case.
Save point.
Intricate and animated menu screens. You don't see those all that often anymore.
Yeah. Nowadays, they save the game for you, which I'm kind of disappointed about. I really, when it comes to older games, I really prefer how you had a save point, like a point, like a room or a little platform you stood on to save the game.
Yeah, I don't mind a feature like autosave. I think autosave is a great feature. I do think that it's one of those things that, well, I don't know, like I kind of like it for the point of immersion, I suppose, because I think that's what games and just art in general should focus on. And
Yeah.
not having to manually save from in any real way is kind of nice because it doesn't break up that that point where it's like there's a separation of, oh, I can finally take a moment and catch my breath from playing this game, because it makes you realize that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So Adonis, I forgot to think you were thinking Bug's Life because this one makes you want to think the Hoppers are the good guys. It really does. So that's a commander, and obviously he takes quite a bit of damage.
Was.
Yeah.
So is this the entire game? Like it's just running?
No, I'm going to skip ahead because this is
room to the next.
This is one planet, and I'm going to skip ahead because there's parts where you switch to become Vela or Lupus the dog.
Oh, okay. I presume each character plays differently then.
Yeah, a little different. But I'm going to do it because eventually you get equipment. So you get on this starship Anubis. A little Egyptian name there, and you try to. So this one gets a little different because there's stuff where you don't want to fall in parts of this level until you get the actual jetpack, which in this game you have to fill it up with gas or else you're out of it, and you can't do it.
Makes sense.
Watching experienced players, I kind of learned that you can also use the jetpack as a kind of parachute. So you're falling, you slow down your fall, and you don't take damage from falling too far.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That HUD is huge.
It is. It's the end of the 90s for you.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, if they had a PC version of this, they would let you just play in HD, and you could have the menu, the HUD above your thing, so it wouldn't get in the way of your view.
Yeah. This is just the laziest prison. It's just a hallway.
You can just shoot the locks.
To be intricate.
You can just shoot or smash the locks, and the doors open. The Hoppers were not wrong. Yeah, that would make it funny. I bet someone made a video about Bug's Life and how the Hoppers weren't really the bad guys, keeping the ants in check.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure nowadays with people arguing that the bugs did nothing wrong in Starship Troopers, there's probably plenty of people who have actually argued for the Hoppers. Or at the very least would, I should say.
Yeah. Okay, Juno. So yeah. So I believe this is where you get a chance to switch off.
And is this just like the next level or the next like set of levels?
So I'm gonna look at here. No, I skipped ahead too.
Oh wow. I'm surprised they don't give you an alternate character any sooner.
Well, I think this is where you get the extra spy drone. Oh no. So most lethal weapon. Most accurate weapon. Here, I'm going to go to Cerulean. This is farther than I've gone so far. So now you're playing as Vela.
Okay.
Oh, she has more. She has more ammo in the machine gun. That's cool. See, behold the power of the machine gun at close range. And she also has the spy drone you can see right there.
What is do you know what the drone does?
It helps you see ahead. And it gives a beeping response if enemies are nearby.
Okay.
You see the red thing? Enemies close by. But obviously she's just running and gunning with the machine gun because she has more ammo. So it's white right now, but it'll turn red when enemies are close. There's a switch. Okay, come on. Now it is. Enemies nearby.
I see.
She just killed that commander with a single burst.
Yeah, she's just running and gunning at this point. I mean, it's working, obviously, but she looks like she's low on health.
Yeah, the red isn't
that
good.
Health in the bottom left?
Yeah, that is health in the bottom left. The color red means you're low. Blue or violet means you're good.
Yeah, because she's been in. This guy's been running and gunning and has been at low health for most of this run.
Yeah. More or less. Oh, she got more ammo. You only have like 106 rounds left, and you're going to burn through them, Missy. So, yeah, you see it goes all the way to violet. Her health on the lower left. Her health is back. So this game, as you may guess, it also has multiple hand grenade types.
Mm-hmm.
And, explosives are what you want when your enemy has armor on. I mean, it was a decent attempt at, incorporating armor into a shooting game, in my opinion. I mean, armor as a mechanic where if you hit someone with armor on, it does less damage.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to think of what game had the helmet physics, where if you a person might survive a headshot because they have a helmet on. I think it was either GoldenEye or Perfect Dark that did that.
I think both of them did it. I know. Yeah. I think GoldenEye did it first, but because Perfect Dark doesn't have Perfect Dark doesn't have helmets.
Yeah, GoldenEye does. I think that was it. So now she has to use heat seekers or pistol because she used up all her machine gun bullets. Should have tried saving them or thrown a grenade sometimes, and you could. I mean, grenades are helpful when you need to reach around a corner. Oh my.
I really like the lighting in a lot of these older games.
Oh, yeah. It's not great. I mean, there's obviously some improvement to be desired, but you're starting to see how the shadows are cast on your character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go check out Shadow of the Empire, they didn't have that quite yet at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned Shadows of the Empire because it does have a third-person and first-person view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I remember. Again, it's old. So Icor, the blood of the gods, as it is what it means. So come on, lady, try your shotgun. It's good. It's good for close range too.
I don't know if she's gonna do that. I think this guy's just gonna run and gun and just
yeah. Oh,
annihilate.
there it is. That's a shotgun right now. Oh, no rockets. I mean, I don't know. When I've gotten to the point where I had the machine gun and the pistol, and I try to use a mix of both just to conserve ammo.
Dude really likes to stand still and just get blasted.
Well, that's the issue with this game. It's hard to aim precisely while you're moving because they don't really have the dual joystick. They didn't have dual joystick when this game came out. It was just hold down a button to aim. But now when we have games like Halo, you just don't have to stand still to aim. Aim with one joystick, move with the other. I'm going to mention Battle Tanks later because Battle Tanks is another 1999 N64 game, but I wish Battle Tanks was dual joystick because heat seeking. Because aiming the gun turret and moving the tank at the same time is how a tank works in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a video game about tanks, dang it.
So in the bottom left, like when that health bar is drained as it is, like what's that little cross X thing in the middle of the health bar?
So that's how many lives you have left in this game. When all of them are out, it's game over.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, come on, there was a machine gun they dropped. Whatever. Snipers, yeah. 500 ammo at max? That's crazy for a handgun. Think about how many magazines that would be. Must have got an ammunition upgrade.
Probably. My buddy's big into firearms, so he always sees all of these upgrades, and he's like, I wonder how that would work. And we always just come up with these just most cursed ideas of like banana mags connected to banana mags, connected to banana mags, connected to banana mags, and it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the magazine such that it matches up with the clip mechanism, which is how the magazine gets ejected or inserted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real meaning of the word clip, everyone in the audience. It's the mechanism that holds the magazine into the gun. It's not the magazine.
Yeah.
And the green blood. So as you can see, they've got armor and shield this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did notice that the ants were blocking the shots, and this player's just kind of like just still shooting the shield instead of trying to shoot for like the head or something.
You have to aim for like their legs or something that the shield isn't blocking, but yeah, this is where you finally at least see them having shields rather than be just grunts with no armor. So he caught them when they were moving, which is good.
Oh, I see how the health works. Okay, so it's the extra life mode from Doom.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering like how this character has lost the health bar so many times and is still standing.
Yeah. Come on, just use the heat seeker for this guy. He's got armor. He's up. Oh, he did it. Good job.
The heat, the rocket didn't go through the shield?
Sometimes it doesn't.
Wow, those shields are insane.
It does add difficulty to this game. I mean, I'd be really bored if I could only hit those grunts.
Sure, but still, like, wow, that shield just tanks it just tanks the rocket without a problem.
Yeah, you can also get the grenades, which can explode behind somebody, and the shield won't block that if the explosion's behind them, for obvious reasons.
Oh, that's interesting. Using ADS for tight turns.
Yeah.
It looks like she also jumps a lot higher than the dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and skip to a place where they actually have the jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, he got the dog Lupus has somewhat different equipment. He has obviously these tank treads you can use to go around.
Somewhat different equipment. It is a dog and a tank, my friend.
Yeah. But I like it.
Oh yeah, sure. Looks like it plays very similar to the tank from Conkers.
Yeah, I mean it is a rare
and
game.
it has jump jets. Never mind. I take everything back.
It's a lot like Star Fox. You have the Landmaster. You can do the short jump jet with the Star Fox tank. Yeah, and this is just kind of shows you somewhat I was saying about battle tanks. You know, obviously you can only go forward and shoot. That's what most of battle tanks is that it's mostly aiming my turret forward with my own motion. But with a real tank, you have a separate control for aiming the turret while moving the tank in whatever direction.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you should have tried grabbing that gun. Whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just trying to burn through his ammo because that machine gun is doing some work.
It is. There he is. Come on, just jump jet up to the next level. Maybe you might be able to do that. Look out, it's a grenade. Ouch. That took out like a quarter of his health. But yeah, grenades hurt against armor, if you haven't noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's Halo. Like Chaos Halo was what a lot of the shooting games wanted to be like. Elements of it happened leading up to Halo, but Halo put it all together in terms of mechanics into one game. Obviously, you have an aiming mode, which unlike Halo, you have the dual joysticks on the Xbox, so you can just aim with one control stick, and you can move with another. There was no going back after that point. But here, like a lot of other games, you just your aim is basically forward, but you can't really do the aim and I hate those
Oh,
shows.
Metroids.
Yeah, those are Metroids.
Yeah, just really long.
Your dog is whimpering.
I think the gore is just the silliest thing to me because they're ants. You get to basically get away with just the most brutal things you could do to them.
And they don't even have red blood.
Everywhere.
Well, ants in reality don't really have red blood. It's white.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the reticle has a bit of a float to it.
It does. I mean, you're talking about a Nintendo 64 controller for the aim mode.
Uh-huh.
So it gets a little difficult aiming if you remember from Ocarina of Time or.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought the N64 games were actually pretty well calibrated. Like when I think about the float where like when you go to stop moving the reticle, it kind of has a little bit of a slowdown, like a deceleration. I was thinking about DK64.
Yeah. As opposed to more recent controllers they're pretty touchy. Let's just say that much.
Oh yeah.
So now he's getting fuel in his jetpack thing.
Huh.
He should have just filled it all the way up. I don't see why he didn't. I would have done that. Shotgun ammo full. Okay. So yeah, you can swim in this game.
I always found it interesting, just water physics in general and swimming and underwater combat, how everybody just seems to hate it. And I find it so odd because I've always enjoyed like anything underwater.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think Half-Life is one of the better cases of underwater combat because Half-Life has some weapons work underwater, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is accurate to the fact that for say your Beretta handgun, which you start with in Half-Life, that works underwater. Your crossbow works underwater, but most of the other ones do not.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets interesting in underwater combat for Half-Life because you have to think carefully about what you're going to use underwater if you have to go through an underwater section. And speaking of Half-Life, that was 98, so it had a lot of good things for it too, and we could probably go over Half-Life in a later section. And it started as a Quake 2 mod.
Yeah, just a little bit of history for anybody who wasn't sure.
Yeah. Half-Life started as a mod.
Yeah, a lot of games start off as mods.
Especially how an upcoming episode is going to be all the Castlevania game mods that we can find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many of those like original games that people have made, like Castlevania revamped and all that.
Yeah. The heat seekers have more ammo. Good. Oh, so you see the jetpack on her back right now.
I do.
Yeah. Well, at least the explode. Oh, that's now he gets it. Get the explosion behind the guy so that the shield doesn't block it. It's funny because that kind of mechanic is in Halo too. When you've got a jackal, if you get a grenade to blow up behind a jackal shield, he's gone. He's a goner.
Mm.
Or you can just melee a jackal to death. But
Is you said this has saves and whatnot. I was to say if the player gets a game over, is it a complete reset back to square one or not?
it goes back to the checkpoint area of the game where you save. So you go back to the as it were arena or combat room where you saved.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wondering if death mattered as a element of the game or not.
It can be a setback depending on how large some of these parts of the levels are, and how you were when you saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Oh, so now he's the triple rocket. Yeah, it isn't guided, but it can break a shield. As you can see.
Okay.
You just don't have a whole lot of ammo without upgrading the ammo capacity for the triple rocket, and it isn't guided. So this is temporary invincibility.
Mm-hmm.
You have a period of time while you're invincible, but as you can see, this is aiming mode as well.
Gonna need it. Oh, he did heal. Never mind.
Take cover. Come on.
Yeah, really likes to stand out in the open. Not that this is a very,
It doesn't have cover mechanics, no,
yeah.
but you can at least go where fewer enemies can aim at you.
That's game over.
Got to go back to save. So obviously he went back to the point where he entered this room, but going to go retrieve more ammo. I mean, some of those bots were close together, so you could at least try using heat seekers for the clustered ones.
So obviously this came out, as you mentioned, a month before DK64.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine the gameplay being considered really repetitive. How well did this game sell?
I said it was around a little bit more than 1 million units, which
okay.
It's profitable, but it wasn't great for a rare game.
Mm-hmm.
Because rare games like Donkey Kong 64, or most of them were like 5 million in that range.
Yeah, Rare was like the top developer of the era. I remember that. If you saw the R, you knew it was a good game.
Yep.
At least by comparison to all of the others, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, this is back when they expected you to sell a complete game.
Yeah.
More or less. So that's it for now. But I wish it could go longer, but we're running out of time. So I'm going to try and answer some things. Yeah, well, they tried to Chaos, but they didn't quite have the dual joystick system that the Xbox or PS2 controllers offered you. So it was Nintendo 64. Now you do have dual joysticks with the Switch. So that's a good version of this to get. But yeah, they were trying. Halo was what they were trying to do with a video game for a while. So more or less. coming up later, what may happen in future Marvel films, this will be as requested. Castlevania game mods come after that. So, hunting for Castlevania game mods. In the meantime, everyone, thank you for stopping by. See you again next Thursday, same time, same channel.
Thanks for coming, everybody.